We are here. We are back. It's emergency pod time.
Yeah,
Um,
most definitely.
I don't know if this trailer warrants an emergency pod, but I feel like I like the energy around emergency pods. I like the
Yeah, yeah,
urgency of it. I
definitely.
like waking you up from your sleep and telling you, yo, get on the mic or wherever the hell you need to get onto. I'm gonna
It's
give you a few
cool. We
hours
we have
to
a
get
release
prepared.
date. Yeah, we have a release date.
This
So that's kind of like the big reason why we're here as well.
So it's very I would say in this climate, the current climate that we're in, which is a currently I feel like it's a different climate from when we recorded the actual season of the show, which may
Yeah.
be why we sounded so chipper when that show was
Fine.
actually
Probably, yeah,
we
most definitely.
recorded season seven. If you want a behind the scenes thing, we recorded season seven, which is all about Demon Slayer, and thank you everybody for listening to that season. We recorded it. I think we started recording it late January and
Mhm.
probably ended maybe like late February, early March. So we already had it in the bag. So all the kind of worldly events that would have probably soured all of our dough didn't really happen
Yeah,
yet.
it
So
didn't
we
handle
gotta,
it. Yeah, we were happy
yeah,
as
so we
fuck.
could handle it. But here, I mean, it's what a grim outlook that we're here.
Yeah, things have changed. Yeah, things have changed a
But
little bit.
I'll say it's a very rare occurrence that you get anybody announcing that the movie hasn't been pushed back until 2021 at this point.
Right. No, no, this is to me like this is good news, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I know we're still showing what an October date, but that's not bad considering what we're dealing with right now.
no,
These days are going by fast.
I can wait till October. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, if we
for
can
sure.
wait, because there are other movies where it's like you have to wait so much longer. Movies have been pushed back a full year because it's like at this point it doesn't even make any sense. We don't have no idea when people are going to be able to mass gather in anywhere
Hmm.
now. Um, but the thing is with Demon Slayer, this could end up a digital release. This could end up
Yeah, which
ideally,
is ideal. I mean, I'll take a
ideally
digital
you want it in
release, like
theaters.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I'll take a digital release like on the
yeah,
spot. I'll pay for
yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. They could premiere it in a different way. Honestly, they premiere it on some sort of streaming service. I'm not mad at that either.
Hmm. Here for
Because
it.
I still think you're going to get everything that you want back in return, and this is such a high demand brand at this point. But would this be this is like the official first trailer. The
Yeah,
official first
I
trailer.
would say so because that other the main trailer or the main that clip that they gave us to kind of
Mhm.
symbolize what's happening. I mean, it's a trailer, but it's very it's vague.
It's very vague. I
Yeah.
think, and I'm going to I'm pressing play on it right now as I'm talking to you. Shout out to the good people at UFO Table who have
Yeah.
just done a spectacular
Respect.
job with the
Respect.
graphics and everything like that. Oh, there's subs now. Okay, all right. I mean, might as well.
Or they added subs
um,
to it.
yeah, I
Okay,
found a
cool.
copy with subs on YouTube. Not that they would add subs in real life, I guess.
Right.
Um, so they're on a train, obviously. You see the people who are on the train. You see Rengoku.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. You see Tanjiro. Tanjiro, uh, he's has a flashback to his parents and the a whole moment before everything kind of changed in his life. There's the winter snow again. Maybe he's getting triggered by snow. It just kind of feels like it. And I mean, the gang's all here. There's the evil lady we saw on the top of the train at the end of the season. There's
Hmm.
Rengoku, who we saw on the train at the end of the season. There's the train that we saw at the end of the season. So
Yeah. It's
it
not a lot of new stuff. Um,
it until maybe the 1 minute 5 second mark where you see the kind of collage. You see there's a clip of like everything's on fire,
mhm.
including like the train tracks. As the train is riding up, the train's on fire. You see another clip of Tanjiro kind of, it looks like Blood Demon Fire, kind of
Yeah.
the same one that
Yeah.
Nezuko had, kind of like rolling around him. And that's maybe it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think the main purpose of this was like, hey, it's coming out this time, and
Right.
that's really what it's about. And we kind of spoke on it before we signed on. Not giving away too much. I mean, it's easy to kind of like the book. I mean, if you read the manga, you kind of know what's happening already. But
Right.
visually, this show is so beautiful that like I prefer it this way.
Let's talk about the concept of making an arc into an actual movie itself. And I feel like we've sprinkled on it throughout the entire season. We're gonna kind of talk about it a little bit more now. But do you expect this to me? I'm trying to think of like, okay, if this were a regular show, knowing what we know, we've read
Yeah.
this already. In
Yeah, yeah.
fact, I mean, I've read this already, but I've forgotten what happens, which is kind of the best things that I
Yeah,
kind of like that
I read
happens.
this a while ago. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't
I
say
don't
I
remember what happens.
totally forgot, but yeah, like
I know what happens at the end.
right,
Um,
right. But no, seeing it done animated is really the goal here. So,
yeah, 100%. So it's making it an arc into a movie. I'm kind of looking at now like it's called the visual. I'm trying to understand. It's like, okay, is this going to be an actual movie itself? Like, is this
mhm.
going to be a feature length film? Is it more so in the adaptation of like maybe a I don't know. I'm trying to think
Here's
of
what I
like
kind of think is going to happen. I think we're going to
okay.
get an hour and a half of the first bit of this piece of this arc, and
Mhm.
then I think when the anime proceeds, it just bleed right into it. But I don't know. Is it going to be like? Are you saying
The
is this
Resurrection
arc
F type of deal.
right? Like basically, we're going to see it again in an episode form.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
mind. It's just I don't know how if they extend this all the way through. How many episodes are they going to give us of this?
I don't expect it to be very
Five,
long.
3.
Yeah, maybe like
Mm,
5. You know, they got
yeah.
to get in the episode where some demon has some backstory
Yeah.
that they're trying to tell, and then they're also, I mean, considering everything, and I'm trying my best not to give spoilers, and I won't give spoilers at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
Even though you can read the manga and find out
Yeah.
exactly what happens. I'm sure they're going to be continuing to tell the tale of flame breathing versus the dance of the fire god, as they
Hmm.
kind of call it, in terms of like how Rengoku and his powers kind of stand aside to Tanjiro and the powers that he just kind of acquired as well. And kind of like what's the differences, how do they compare, what's the story behind them, how everyone's kind of journey has reached them up to this point. So I expect that as well. I expect, I mean, fighting, of course. We got the 3 knuckleheads, Tanjiro, Inosuke, Zenitsu.
First of all, we're gonna get probably 30 minutes of Inosuke being afraid of the train, so we'll prepare for that. That's one way they could fill this out.
It is. I expect it to be a fun time. I don't
Yeah.
expect it to be a feature length full extravaganza. I really do feel like this is an extension of the actual show.
Hmm.
And everything that we get from this, including the visuals or things, are just things they would normally do in the show. The
Yeah.
show has been
Basically 3 episodes. Three
yeah,
episodes in a movie.
yeah, so that's kind of what I'm expecting by it. I don't expect it as this kind of plot that continues and kind of ends and kind of teaches you things and kind of adds a new layer to all these other things. This is legitimately part of the show. So I
Yeah.
think in terms of tempered expectations, I don't want to say it's going to go below expectations, because I think at any point, just watching any Demon Slayer is going to be like, whoa, they nailed it.
Now,
Um,
here's my thing. Are they? I'm curious if the plan is to go forward with the anime immediately after this is over.
mhm.
Maybe that's why it's taken so long. Maybe that's what they were waiting for, to make sure they had another season to actually put out on a week to week basis after this
Right.
launches. I mean, that would be awesome if, we get the announcement for the date of the film and then the anime is back on in November, whatever, or whatever. So like that would be sick if we can get right back into it. I'm not sure
Mhm.
what their plan is. I think that would be smart, especially if it's going to be a worldwide release at one time. But yeah, to me, it's more Demon Slayer animated, right? So I mean, I've been
Yeah.
reading. I did read 201, by the way. I want to tell you that I did read
Okay.
201.
Maybe we can talk about it afterwards. Maybe we can talk about it. We can chat about
Yeah,
it
that shit right
after
there is
we
different.
finish this. We're gonna do some more talking about random various things
It's
that we.
definitely yeah, definitely something I don't want to openly spoil.
Yes, of course.
But yeah,
Here's the thing. I expect more trailers as the months go on. I expect some probably one surrounding the villain of this,
hmm
which at the current time you can see on the top of the train. I actually forgot her name. It
um,
She was the villain at the end of the series who wised up and just decided not to run and kind of embraced that they all effed up and stuff like that. She's a 12 Kizuki. She's a 12 Kizuki. 12
it's like
Demon Moons.
Kibitsu.
Let's see. I'm
What's
trying
it?
to
What's
see
the
right
name?
now.
It's
Lower
she's lower
Moon.
rank. It's like
She is lower rank. And Enmu or Inmu.
Enmu
Yeah.
ENMU.
Yes. It looks like she'll be one of the more prominent villains in this arc.
Cool
Uh,
design. Cool design.
So here's, yeah, I mean, I don't want to say too much because the trailer doesn't give too much, but if you read this thing, you kind of know what happens and
Yeah.
how big this, they wouldn't make this arc a movie if something big didn't happen. And I think this movie represents a lot. It also represents a major shift in sort of Tanjiro's thinking, his attitude, and his own story. So there's a lot of things that come with this movie. There's a lot of baggage and development and all the other things that come with this movie. So I think it's going to be a great watch nonetheless. I'm interested if it goes to theaters, considering the current climate that we're in. You can
Right.
lightly
It'd be a
hear sirens
shame.
in the background, as always. You in every Lookout episode or anything I record.
It'd be a shame if, we couldn't get to theaters, and, I would feel bad for the company because I feel like they deserve that after all
Hmm.
the great things that they've done. But, I feel like people are still going to support it no matter what, even if it's on a streaming service or something of that
Yeah.
nature where you got to pay for it. I'm still down to pay for it. If you do want to know what happens, or you don't mind spoilers, if you, volume 7 into volume 8 is basically this movie.
Right.
So check that out if you guys just want to know what's going on or what happens. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like no matter what, they deserve people I will pay for this if I have to. Period. Like
Yes,
if I can, I'm paying for it because I think the plan was to get this in theaters, but obviously now, like, October is a solid month. I don't know how things are going to be when we get to that point, but we're going to support it no matter what.
I'm just kind of looking at all the information I can find about this. Yeah, there's not much information about it thus far. I mean, there's plenty of information, but there's not much information about it thus far that I feel comfortable in sharing on this podcast. And
We may
spoiling
spoil
for
it.
anyone
Yeah.
who may not want it to be spoiled or doesn't read manga or anything at this
Absolutely.
point.
Absolutely.
But I'm just confident that they're going to do a great job with everything that's coming afterwards because they knocked it out the park with this anime. We spent the whole season talking about it. It's kind of been building up to this moment. We made sure to get the season out the way so we could properly have all the context we need to talk about the movie.
I've been waiting for someone to hit us up and disagree about some of the things that we say. I know we say a lot, like a lot of this comes with praise. Like a lot of Demon Slayer is praise and it's great, but I haven't really seen anybody who disagrees with the series. Like
Everyone reaches the same point that we reached.
At some point you're like, all right, this is hard. Yeah, this is hard.
Episode 19.
It's undeniable, which is special. It's undeniable,
You know what? A question that I have regarding this. I don't know if it's a worldwide release on Friday, October 16th. That's kind of my main thing. I don't know if it's a worldwide release. We haven't got the confirmation. We haven't seen any
I'm not sure if they're
US
there
trailers.
Yet. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're there yet.
It may come the month after.
Right. Well, for us, if you guys remember when Dragon Ball Super came out, if you want to get it, you'll be able to get it.
Of course,
it just depends how you want to handle that situation.
Right. So, because I'm looking at October 16th. Yes, it's 100% a Friday. I'm not sure if it's a worldwide release. As good any good anime, as good as they are, they still don't do worldwide releases for movies. Even the latest, the last anime movie that I saw, Two Heroes,
Which you would
My
think,
Hero Academia.
Right?
Yeah,
like if anything is going to get a worldwide release, you would think that would be it.
But it didn't do bad. It didn't do bad. It's still continuing to. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's out of theaters now. Everything's out of theaters now.
I know, but the situation has changed as well. I think when talking about My Hero, that it probably could have did even better. But
yeah,
I don't think it's out of. I don't think it's because of the film. It's just because of the situation.
I would say that kind of concludes our movie trailer talk. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put all of this up on YouTube today, as well as for podcast stuff. The podcast is going to be longer than this actual, because we're going to talk about more stuff. We're about to talk about more stuff right now.
We have just talked about this release date for so long, waiting to see what it was. We had to come on and at least talk to you guys about it,
Right. So I'm going to put up this movie talk part on YouTube. Those who stumble this on YouTube, you can definitely watch it. You can definitely absorb it. And if you want more, the podcast will be available on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, all the other places where you can find podcasts. Yeah, so you can listen to all that other stuff because we're going to talk about stuff that we've been getting into, chapters, mangas, all this other stuff,
yeah.
and just kind of chill out and talk out and just kind of do some relaxed, non-intense discussion on anime. Let's run back to chapter 201.
Sure. Well, I will say chapter 200 made me cry, right? And 201 is pretty emotional as well, but it was more shocking than anything.
Chapter 200. Chapter 200 was so. I think they did. It's real hard for me to go week by week and still have the same emotion reading this and kind of the height of anxiety about something as it continues to go on week by week.
Right.
But they've managed to get me so involved to this character. And there are spoilers ahead. So at this point, if you don't want spoilers on the manga or anything like that, just kind of tune out.
Yeah.
But the way they built up to the whole like defeat, trust me, the whole like the sun is about to rise. We need to make sure he doesn't run away, and they're ramming trucks into him, and they're throwing buildings on him.
It's like I cannot like when we get to this point in the anime, it may be one of the best episodes. Yeah. Period. You know, like
so I'm sure the music will take me over the top.
Oh my god, bro! It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
The urgency that they had and kind of the build to this one moment, and it's like, okay,
this is it. We have to do this right now. You know,
they have to do this right now. They've got their sword stuck into him and all this other stuff, and they're like, no, he can't get away. He can't get away. He can't get away, and he doesn't get away. By all means, I saw the end of chapter 199, and you saw him kind of like disintegrating, and I'm like, I got to see the whole body disintegrate.
Right. We don't know. Is this shit over or not? You know how
And then, so it's like that tale of chapter 199. Chapter 200 is kind of like the brief reprieve. It's, oh my God, we finally did it. Everyone's crying, everyone's thing. And then in the midst of it, they're all like, wait, no, we still have a job to do. Because everyone's also dying. Like three of the pillars, three of the Hashiras are dying and are dead by the end of the chapter.
Right.
Which is crazy. It's crazy how much they lost because I'm at this point through the entire series, they might have lost like out of the 9 Hashiras, they probably lost like 7 of them.
Right. And you know, here's my thing. Like I like that, and I only say it because I don't want like animes and TV shows in general. Like I feel like sometimes they're afraid to, you know, kick very popular, awesome characters or like you know destroy them.
Money.
Yeah, because of money, and I get it. But if you're telling the story, you know, to an extent of like, hey, this is what we have. This isn't necessarily about one particular pillar, or it's a whole, you know. And it's like if you got to when you start taking away pieces, you feel it as a reader, as a viewer, as a watcher, whatever. And I like it, man. I think we need more of that. Like, go ahead and knock the main character out for a little bit, you know.
We get to that. I mean, all the Hashiras, this war against Muzan. I mean, Muzan is dead at this point, but you kind of see like who really won the war. It's kind of what the question you really kind of ask yourself. It's like
it would have been confusing if we didn't lose so many. Considering how Muzan is so OP and so dangerous, and you know what I'm saying, it only makes sense.
We get to the end of the chapter, and it's Nezuko finally running up, and you see Tanjiro just kind of in a prone kind of position, and it's like, yo, he has no heartbeat. Like he may be dead. And I just remember like just a gasp of just like, no.
Yeah, like this is it.
No, this is the moment that he's been pushing for the entire time. This is the moment
I'm thinking it's over, right? They've given us this not small fraction, but they've told their story, you know, and that's kind of what I was anticipating. You and I kind of spoke about it on the side a little bit, but I thought, damn, man, like if this is how it ends, it makes sense. I'm like, I'll be content with it, you know,
because it's an ending. It's an ending.
It's an ending. Yeah.
It's an ending.
No cliffhanger.
And I don't really feel bad about it because of the stakes of everything involved.
Mission complete.
Like if you had read the previous 20 chapters, you know that these people were in the fight of their life.
Yeah.
The
This is what it was
fight
all
of
for.
their yeah, this was all it's for. Connecting the dance of the fire breathing, all this other stuff, all of that other stuff. This is what it was for. So the fact that he doesn't make it, and it's sad because Nezuko runs up and he's like, but Tanjiro, like, she's no longer a demon.
She's no
She's
longer a demon.
100%
Yeah,
human,
let's get that
and it's
straight.
like he's not even able to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
It's
sad.
insane.
It's very sad. Yeah.
And then chapter 201 is like, yo, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
201 blows your fucking mind. That, I mean, I wanted to tweet that picture so bad, but like at the same time, you know, I just didn't feel right doing it because I know that there's some people that just don't read manga, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll leave that up to like Jamal and Big Eyes. And if you guys are, you know, cool, run that. But I didn't want to expose it because I know I have people, you know, around me who are just like, they watch the anime, but they don't read, you know?
Right. And if you see the spoilers regarding so far from it, it's like, what's the point of me even getting involved in, in this series?
Yeah.
Like, if I have to put in a couple more years into the series and reading it just for this to happen, it's like at this point, this is such a monumental spoiler for them.
Right.
I would just feel
it's
guilty.
so bad. You can't do it. Like they may not see this on television for 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't do it to you. If you want to know, you can find out, but I'm not doing it to you.
Chapter 201 is he essentially moves on before he died, gave his blood to Tanjiro.
Yeah.
So now Tanjiro is a demon. As you know, Nezuko was a demon before, now Tanjiro is a demon. And he says something along those lines of like, you're going to be the demon that's able to like walk. You're gonna change the game because you have the fire that vanquished me. Yeah. And you have the demon power that I had, and I'm sure you're going to be able to conquer the sun and conquer everything.
Right.
You are the final hope.
You're the one.
Gives it to him. You're the one. And it's such a change, and it's such a
the visual of him like crouched in. Oh my god, bro! Like,
and everyone's like, "Yo, we got to kill him," but it was like, "But how?" Like,
it's
we just fought this battle. Like, my arm is coming out of my arm. Like, how are we supposed to do this?
I don't know.
It's an interesting chapter. We still have 202 to come up. I'm sure 202 has leaked by now. Maybe,
probably. I don't know.
I'm so surprised that the mangas haven't stopped yet, and it's really kind of been my only solace at this point that the mangas are still going throughout this entire crisis, because I thought 2 weeks ago it was like, all right, cliffhanger. And for some mangas it may be, I think they're stopping production on volumes of certain things. I read The Promised Neverland, like initially supposed to have a volume come out like some month, and then it's gonna not come out.
It makes sense for them. They're on a roll right now, so like I think they don't want to like hit a bump for no reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Might as well hold off.
Let's see. Jeez Louise.
So yeah, it's crazy. If you guys want to read it, go read it. Like, we basically told you, if you're still listening to this and you didn't want to be spoiled, you kind of know what's happening. But it's a crazy, crazy conclusion. And apparently there's more. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because we had this discussion. I'm like, they can't really end this, right?
No, not that quick, right? They can't conclude Tanjiro becoming a demon in one more chapter.
I can't even think. As much as Muzan died, I was like, but then what's next? Because the part of me that, not in even the story part, the part of me that sees they're holding the 19 top spots on whatever manga list it is like, oh nah, they can't be running away from the money this quickly. Like they just reached their kind of zenith of it. This manga has been going on since 2016, but it's 2019 and 2020. That's the peak of this entire thing.
So what are your thoughts? What do you think you may see here? Like what is the Tanjiro situation? Do you think what do you think happens? What do you think happens? Is kind of,
the shark jumping kind of moment.
No, it's fine. I mean, I know it's
this
kind
is
of
the
it could
moment
be an
where it can kind of
outlandish prediction.
this is the moment where it kind of shifts. It can really begin to focus on a new character, which may be
See,
Nezuko.
I think I kind of feel that.
Yeah.
I feel maybe Nezuko becomes, the main character. Maybe in
Yeah.
this situation, Tanjiro dips, or I don't know. I don't know. It's
And you're starting to see like maybe demons are coming back, maybe something is coming back, or he's going for his immortality or whatever the hell it is. I don't know if I don't think it'll end with Tanjiro being a demon and just now being the new full villain of this thing. I can't personally see it from a standpoint of like, oh, we also got to sell toys, but you can sell a special demon Tanjiro. Like you can sell a Majin Vegeta toy.
right.
But you're not going to keep him in that way forever. I don't see this being a long-term thing. I don't see we're on chapter 400 and they're figuring out how to beat.
He just won best boy, goddammit. You know what I'm
saying? Like, imagine someone winning best boy and best villain at the same character
time.
wins.
Right.
So I can't imagine this staying for long. I imagine this is just like a part of something, but it can really, from here on out, you can really, if he manages to escape, it's like, okay,
that's your time. We're like, okay, cool.
What do we do from here?
Yeah,
because they have to rebuild the entire Demon Corps. First of all, they lost their leader. They lost many of the Hashira. They lost so many. So now it becomes a kind of a situation of survival if Tanjiro manages to escape this entire thing. I'd be shocked. I'm still shocked. I don't know what's going to happen.
They've shocked us enough. I mean, not even thinking about it, I never thought this situation would be what it is right now,
I didn't think Muzan would die. And I saw him dying and I was like, I don't know if this is the end.
Well, it's cool because it's like, I think it's a practical excuse, right? I mean, he's gone, but he leaves his blood. And someone else. And it's like, damn, well, all that got Nezuko good. And now our best boy is the bad one.
It could be, I could also see an internal struggle
between Nezuko.
No, but Muzan and an internal struggle between Muzan and Tanjiro and the demon mentally? Blood. And
that'd be cool.
Because this is kind of shades like, You talk about chapter 201. Talk about chapter 1. And we're 200 chapters later. You're kind of seeing it from the other side, right? Like Tanjiro is this person who's a demon, and he has to get all of his things under control. He may have been given too much demon blood, which may mean he's far past the point of return.
Right.
But you have the situation where it could become where Tanjiro is fighting Nezuko in the snow. Maybe it's the other way around.
Maybe.
And they're and he has to live with being a demon and they have to try to figure out how to get him. I don't know. It'd be a weird way to kind of tell the story over. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the ball's in their court. I mean, I'm sure they have, plenty of ideas and plenty of ways to twist the viewer how they want to. Because like you said, I didn't expect this anyways. I feel like Muzan they made him seem such like an untouchable character. So it was shocking just that. So this is cool, man. I mean, it's very emotional how I prefer it to be. And it feels like a climax, but then it's like not really a climax, It's like it is, but it's like, oh God, another problem, maybe a worse problem,
Yeah, it's a major shift in the series, which is honestly, it's like, this is the thing that you need to keep things going.
It's exciting.
Let's talk about, did you manage to catch the premiere of the new Digimon series?
Not yet. No, not yet.
Not yet.
I got the link.
I mean, I watched it.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Interesting enough. No. Is it worth the try?
The first episode wasn't a hit to me.
Okay.
The first episode. No, it's not. But I think you're invested by. I think the first episode of the original series hits better to me than the first episode of this series, and I'll say it because the problem with this, and I felt like there's been a problem with Digimon for a long time, and it's always retelling the story and all this other stuff. They can't get away from those same 8 characters and trying to tell the story. My problem with this first episode is there's no telling of the story. I think it kind of assumes everything that's going on.
Yeah, they have to understand that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, but even that, like, to me, I'm someone, you know me, I'm invested in the story. I need the story. I need the story to make sense. I need it to draw me in. I need it to draw me back, all this other things like that. The way how this episode kind of quickly progressed so quickly without you kind of understanding exactly what's going on. I mean, you understand what's going on. Don't get me wrong. You understand what's going on. But it just, to me, I was just like, this is kind of, you're moving too fast. Like, slow down. Tell the story. Tell the fact that, Tai meets Izzy. It's the only Digidestin he meets, because apparently Izzy lives above him in this kind of universe, this dimension of where this shows. He, within the first 2 minutes of the show, he meets Izzy. Within the first 5 minutes of the show, they're already running to solve some crisis that's happening. And I'm like, wait, but you're not really telling the story of like how these kids are linked together and the special kind of kids that they got. And don't get me wrong, this is one episode, which is why I'm not like, I'm gonna give them a couple more episodes.
Right.
But even towards the end, so the end of the episode, there's this like big battle in like the network or something along those lines. There's this big battle between Greymon and some virus Digimon. That's fine. Great new animation. And then at the end of the episode, like, Matt shows up with Gurumon, but you never see. I'm sure they're going to tell that story in the second episode, but I'm like, but wait, like, how are these people all linked together? It's they're
Digidestins, for God's sakes. You gotta link them early.
The story of the camp thing, and they still lean back to the story about the camp because apparently they're all about to go to camp. The story of them meeting at camp and getting trapped in this digital world and do all these other things and meeting these Digimons in this strange world, it made sense. It's a little campish, a little cartoonish. It's the year 2000. It is what it is. 1999, 2000. It was the kind of brand of the times. But this one, it just didn't. The first episode didn't hit for me. I'm going to continue to watch and see what happens because I'm a glutton for punishment. But
you may be in for a pleasant surprise, man. You never know.
That's what I'm saying. So if I were anyone who were listening to this, I would probably say, like, give it a few episodes. I'm going to continue watching week by week, but maybe you want to let 5 episodes run before you decide, okay, let me jump in.
Check back in a month or something. Whatever,
check back in a month.
Binge watch what's out.
Before you get to this first episode and be like, what the fuck is going on?
And then just be sold out of it. Like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. I mean, I live tweeted it. I tweeted my thoughts on it with like cool images. And people seemed interested because it's Digimon.
It's Digimon.
You know?
It's like, here's my thing with Digimon. It's like, right now, if you're gonna try to come back and make a pop culture return or make people want it, or it's like people still haven't completely said, I'm not, like, we respect Digimon. Yeah. There's always a chance. We always give it a chance because of what it is, what the time frame that it came out, the nostalgia, and dare I say, Pokemon, right? Like, it's just like I respect it because of what it was and the time that it came out. So they're always going to get an opportunity. So you just want them to knock it out the park.
Yeah, I mean, knocking out the park is a major stress. It's a tall task. Actually, I don't even know. I don't even know if it's a tall task.
They're just they're put together. Yeah, like to me, I feel like you're already put together. You already have still iconic characters that you have a built-in
audience already.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like Agumon.
You're not trying to convince someone to watch this for the first time.
It's Digimon.
Everyone, yeah.
It was already cool. To me, it was always cool. It just wasn't Pokemon, and I think that was the thing. But it can work. It's just they got to knock that shit out the park, man. It's like you have an audience. Yeah, we're 30 in our late 20s or whatever, but it's also still cool enough to get to get new kids on it. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Is there anything you've been watching or reading, or anything that's caught
No,
your
I
eye, ear?
honestly, man, I a lot of Animal Crossing right now. Final Fantasy VII remake came out today, so I was playing that before we jumped on here.
Hmm.
Um, so no, not really. I haven't played Pokemon in a while, but I guess it's
I haven't
because
played
I'm
Pokemon either. I'm waiting
yeah,
for it to wrap around
right. Basically, we're kind of in the
in
same
June.
boat. Yeah, in
Yeah.
June. But Animal Crossing is extremely fun. I'm having a good time with that. It came out at the
All right.
perfect
So
time.
explain to me Animal Crossing. I'm not fully sure of what it is,
It's
but I
a
see all the alerts in the.
yeah,
If you don't know, we have to look out Discord. We have an Animal Crossing channel.
yeah,
It's plenty active.
yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
I have
Um,
no idea what's going on.
a semi life simulator, kind of. You can't get married or have kids like Sims level, but you're on a deserted island. You name the island. You get people to come move to your island. You farm, fish, build your house up, but you get gifts, presents throughout the game to kind of manage the way you want things to look. And there are key things that you have to do to progress in the game.
What makes it so addictive?
What makes it so addictive is the game is set in real life time. So right now at whatever time it is, 2:45 on a Friday, that's what time it is on Animal Crossing. So tonight I have young KK, who is like the pop sensation of the game. He's doing a performance on my island at 6 p.m. today. True story. So I text Scott today. I'm like, yo, KK's at the island. Pull up at 6 p.m. He's doing a concert. It's like little things like that, and they'll give you,
Wow.
yes, you'll give you specific gifts. There's different islands you can hop to cut down trees and get materials. It's just a lot of customization. You're like my house. I don't know if you've seen my crib on Twitter. I posted it. It's that took me a while, but it can be done. People are very creative. You can upload other images, like a lot of Demon Slayer, fits and shit. I showed you I had the Giru fit and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's just like you can just do so much, and it's creative and it's custom. So people enjoy it. To me, I think I mentioned it before when we were talking about why Dragon Ball games or anime games kind of fall off sometimes. And to me, one of my favorite things that I love to do in video games is create my own character, or like create an environment that resembles me or feels like me.
Hmm.
And that's what Animal Crossing does. You do what you want. And that's kind of, I think that's why everybody just enjoys it. It's fun. You can go to other people's islands. So, the communication is cool. And it's just one of those things, man. It's like, and it couldn't have came out in another better time. Like the time is perfect for the game considering what happened.
Right.
It's almost like they knew, right?
Yeah.
No
Yeah. No.
conspiracies, but
It's
but
almost it's
it's
almost like they
perfect.
knew.
It's perfect.
Um, let's see. Things that I've seen. I don't know if you want to talk about it. We don't have to talk about this long form. There's
So,
I guess an anime called Beastars.
oh yeah, Beastars. Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
So okay, so me and Ash watched the first episode.
Okay.
Um, I don't like the animation. They basically use, how Demon Slayer has those CGI moments.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of use it the whole time. So
Hmm.
the animation is a little slow. Like if you watched it, you'll know what I mean. But
Hmm.
basically, they're in a world where it's kind of like discrimination against carnivores uh, to the animals that eat plants. Does that make
Hmm.
sense? It's cool. It starts off with like this. I don't know if I think he was a goat. He was getting eaten in like an auditorium at a school. It's
So,
really it's strange. I don't recommend it. I didn't care for the first episode personally. The animation threw me off. Like I said, it's like slow. It's like computerized CGI. It's
hmm.
very weird. It's very weird. But everybody's a different animal. But human bodies, animal heads.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I saw one particular scene that they just showed on Twitter. I think it was the sex scene.
Mm.
Um, I was just like, I don't
It's
know
a
if
no
I'm,
go. Yeah, it's a
I
no
don't know
go.
if I'm ready for this.
Yeah, it's a no go. It's a
um,
no.
so I started and finished Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice.
UU hours
Nice.
became a thing for me on Twitter, especially during this coronavirus. Uh, where I'm just like, I'm not going to work tomorrow. Might as well stay up all night and watch anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, it was good. It was really, really
Yeah,
good.
man.
I'd say it was
Yeah.
really good. I think the ending was satisfying, which is great because that last
Hmm.
arc to me is like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's a little
Uh,
bit. It's a little wild.
yeah, last arc was kind of, the second
I
part
don't.
to
I don't want to
last,
say wild, but it's just.
yeah, the second part to the chapter Black arc to me was like, huh? All right, whatever. I think it kind of like started. It started tipping off at some point.
Yeah, they
Where
knew.
it,
They knew what was up.
yeah, the writing started to get a little lazy. Or they
Let's get
weren't
this
really sure what
finished.
to. Yeah, they weren't really sure what to do with the character anymore. To be honest with you, of
Hmm.
Yusuke. But overall, it was good. I thought it was a great companion with friendship. I would not be opposed to if this like series gets like remastered in like a Kai sense, where
Yeah, there's
everything's a lot more
clips.
cleaner.
There's clips of a remastered UU that is apparently it exists. It just hasn't
Mm,
been released. It's a
mm,
really clean clip. I gotta find it. Yeah, UU is one of those. It's a Mount Rushmore of an anime.
yeah.
I know, like I said, I told you, you probably see the similarities between Hunter x Hunter in there because it's made by the
Hmm.
same person.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's great. It's a classic.
It's good. I think. I mean, people want us to do a future season about it. I'm sure that'll happen. Uh, Especially considering I've seen it. I have thoughts. I kind of just want to sit with it a little bit longer. I don't think I could. I
Yeah,
think the it's kind of like what happened with Demon Slayer. It took me a while to feel comfortable about talking about Demon Slayer after watching it because it's not like Dragon Ball in a sense where we know this top and bottom. We're like we got
yeah,
Dragon Ball wiki fandoms in our
yeah.
brains.
It
Like
won't. It
we're
won't forget. It's just things you won't forget.
yeah, where we're still kind of like figuring it out and we're still kind of analyzing from a personal standpoint. I've watched Dragon Ball a million times. Probably before we did Demon Slayer, I watched it like maybe 3 times. Um, but I think with Yu Yu Hakusho, I think it's not too difficult of a series to kind of like explore.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
like
It's clean.
very one
Yeah, it's very
dimensional.
clean.
Not even one dimensional, but it's like straightforward uh
Yeah, yeah.
as a character. So, we'll see. We'll see how everything goes with that. There was another major anime moment over the last weekend happened, season finale, My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Um I don't know if you've been able to watch
How
it.
was it? Because I'm backed up. Like I'm still watching.
It was
So I
incredible.
didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to like. I don't want to skip ahead. You know what I mean? Like I saw the
It was
tweets. I saw the
incredible.
tweets.
It was incredible. It just was. It was the moment that they do these great things. You know what? I'm gonna see if I know we were supposed to get Justin on this a while ago.
That's
um,
true. I think he's
just
playing Final Fantasy right now. I was texting him a little while ago.
just so he can pop in and see what he's gonna stop. I hope he would stop everything he's doing to just get on the phone.
He
Um,
might. He knows what we're doing because I
yeah.
told him that I was about to get off the game to jump on this pod with you. So
Um, but I think they've done such a great job at like society, like a societal anime,
mhm.
because it's not just one person. Like the difference between that and Yu Yu Hakusho is like ultimately Yu Yu is focused on Yusuke.
Right.
Everything revolves around Yusuke. Everything revolves around this person. I don't think I've seen an anime where so many characters get so many different moments and you're able to other than maybe like Dragon Ball Z, but even Dragon Ball Z is
Even
like,
what
yo, it's
it's
it's about
still.
Goku.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
The
like
one the
it's
one time it was about Gohan, they still moved it to Goku. You
yeah.
know.
It's a I don't think I don't think I've seen just a show in general where so much characters get so many moments. And the moment that Endeavor got was kind of like what the series needed because and it's a great story to tell. They're missing their symbol of the symbol of, justice, or I forgot what it is. It's essentially called the symbol with All Might. All Might's rap. All Might's been done with for months at this point.
Right. Right.
So it's like that's where season 4 kind of comes in, because the entire city has gone in chaos. I mean, you got new villains coming up, you got other people plotting, you got so many villain groups kind of coming, and the city's in disarray. No one truly believes in heroes anymore because All Might isn't there.
Right.
And he Endeavor steps to it. He faces this Nomu. It's similar to the Nomu that we saw in episode 1, except probably a little bit stronger. He has to go balls to the wall to essentially defeat him. He gets some help from another character named Hawks, who's going to look like that new cool character that everyone draws illustrations of.
Right.
And does their cosplay of, and et cetera, et cetera. So it looks like he's going to be that person. It's just, I don't know. It's just great. I thought it was a great way to end the series, and I thought it was a great, not series, season of the series.
I say, calm down.
And you've made a new character. That's what you've done.
I'm gonna catch up. I'll probably be caught up by Tuesday.
Right. You can prolong the series as long as you want now, because there's so many different areas to go through. It's not just Todoroki. It's not just Deku. It's Todoroki. Right. It's Bakugo. It's Endeavor. It's All Might. It's it's Eri. It's what's my man's name who lost his powers? Damn, I forgot his name. But you get so many different things from this, and it's just like, damn, like, what a show. That's all I can say, is what a show. I can't say much more than that. It really delivered.
I'm gonna invest.
I sent the link to Justin. If he does not show up in the next 5 minutes, it's a wrap for him. But because he's been watching the show, I want to know his thoughts, and this is kind of the only avenue where it is. Before we jump back into my hero, if this guy possibly shows up, Mount Silver. We're back Monday, bright and early on Monday. We'll be back on Monday with new season. It's a different kind of take on a season. I don't know if any anime or any podcast has done a kind of season that's kind of like enveloped both the game and the anime so closely. If you're trying to figure out like what the show is actually going to be and what the format is, I would say mostly the show is surrounded by the anime and it's supplemented by our game experience in this season.
Absolutely.
Because that first season of the anime is so powerful.
Yeah, it's a legendary season.
It's so powerful. It's so legendary. It's so iconic. You remember everything from it. It played a million times when you were a kid.
It would just be foul for us not to speak on the game visual, the perspective of the game. And the anime. We have to, because that's what made. I mean, the anime and the game, they helped each other.
Right. No, 100%. So Mount Silver, when it comes back on Monday, it's going to be weekly. I think last season we did it maybe once a month, because we kind of did it when we could, and we knew that episodes kind of like stand on its own. But the season 2 will be more of a series type of thing. It'll be the 8 gems of Kanto. If you're lucky towards the end, you might get some bonus content of the league, the Pokemon League that Ash went through, and then we can maybe talk about our Elite Four experiences and Victory Road and all the other stuff like that. I realized that's not on Netflix. Season 1,
I noticed
it stops at a certain point, but that's fine. It's the internet. You'll find it wherever we find it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Won't be a problem.
But Mount Silver, we're here. We're going to do on Sunday. We're going to do the watch party, Netflix watch party for the 3 episodes that I love so much.
It's gonna be so fun.
The SS Anne episodes, I thought they're just incredible. They're everything that Pokemon is about. Except talking Pokemon. I guess that's something that's different. But we're going to do those, the SS Anne episodes, the kind of arc, which is weird because Pokemon has never really done an arc. If this was an arc, it would be an arc, but it's never really done like an arc type of thing. But it's fun. It's a fun experience.
They would benefit from an arc, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh yeah, easily. Justin's not responding. He must be really deep in this Final Fantasy.
I'm telling you, I don't know how much he got to play last night because it was his birthday, so I don't know.
Let me see if I can call him. I really want him, because we're not going to do this again. I want him to get his piece out, and maybe that's it. Let's see. It's it's a fun experience. Mount Silver has been fun to record. We're still recording the season, so we still got a lot of stuff to talk about. Um, and yeah, we're gonna go through that all the way leading up until the actual game release, the first part of the DLC for Pokemon, Isle of Armor,
Yeah.
which we're looking forward to. Everything that's on. I thought I was gonna do more shinies. I was like, I'll just wait till the game comes out.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm tapped out. You know, I got 300 some hours on the game. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's time to just step away for just a second, like, and wait for this DLC.
Which would be weird because this is the time you maybe want to invest the most in the game. But
yeah, you know,
November.
I mean,
it came out in November.
Yeah, we played a lot. We played a lot, and it's not that I think the game has boiled over. Like, I can still turn it on and have fun with it. It's just other things have come out, and I have other things to deal with before this new DLC drops. So
yeah, no, you're right, and you got the DLC coming up. I'm sure all of our attention will be jumped back into it once the DLC
100%.
drops. Hopefully, it won't be something where it's like, okay, this will be like a thing for a day that we'll do. You have to do a couple quests or something. You get a new wild area, A, B, C, D, E. Hopefully it'll be a lot more,
I wonder if they have meetings with Nintendo, like, hey, we want to drop the DLC in March, and they're like, yeah, well, Animal Crossing's coming out, so we're gonna need you guys to push this shit back.
I mean, Animal Crossing would push anybody.
Yeah, it's just a massive game. It takes a lot of time, like, it's time consuming. So yeah, I mean, maybe that got something to do with it, but I'm excited for the Pokemon DLC. It's gonna be great. I have no issues with it.
So we managed to get J5 on the line. Justin, I'm sorry, I just hit you out of the blue. But this is legitimately the only opportunity that I feel like it was right to be able to talk about your My Hero. Even though I feel like you're like off it now, you're like, meh.
I'm not off it. I took a break because I saw that it was delayed, like the dub. So I wasn't. Right. I started rewatching Better Call Saul because we got our show, me and Pat, every Thursday, and I you know what happened? Like, the end of season 3 is such a drag.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
put way off the gas.
Well, I think it's because, and I think they did it differently in the end of season 4. They made sure to put their foot on the gas at the end of season 4. But the end of season 3, I think they were just kind of like, okay, let's kind of ease things out. It's like the end of Demon Slayer's first season, right? Where they were just like, we took you to the highest of heights. We're going to ride this out and kind of like progress things from here.
Cool down episodes.
Even though I think the last episode of season 3, it technically should be the first episode of season 4, but it's an interesting kind of episode. I don't know if you've reached it yet. Have you reached the end of season 3?
No, I got to when they meet the top 10 or top 3.
Oh yeah, but that's important. That's important as fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, there's no fighting though.
I mean, there's one fight. It's just not that entertaining of a fight, but it's important as fuck. As when you read into season 4, it's important as hell. Let us know, what have you been enjoying about My Hero Academia? Why did you, the series that we thought you would hate?
Why did you invest in this? Yeah,
because I really thought you would hate it.
Mine's still blown.
Yeah, mine's still blown. I thought you would hate it.
I think that's why I stuck with it, because you guys were so sure that I was going to hate it.
Didn't that what we said? Did we say that, Jeff? He's sticking with it because we told him he'd hate it.
Yeah.
Because if it would have been on his own terms.
But he likes it though. He likes it.
No, I legitimately like it. The only reason I started watching it is because you guys said I would hate it, and I had to get it off.
Okay.
I had to see it for myself, and then see what was going on with it. And then I think by the end of season 1, I was like, all right, cool, this is straight. And season 2 is probably my favorite so far because it just has so much stuff happening in it. And season 3 it was all right. It was I think like the stakes were a little bit lessened after like the first 10 episodes, but then it ended up being straight. But I heard season 4 was like next level.
Yeah, that's what he was just telling me.
Yeah, no, the ending of season 4 is you still have the same kind of problem, where it kind of like it goes up and then it dips off because like everyone has real life responsibilities as well. So you're gonna reach a certain arc in season 4, and you're like, nothing's going on. They're not doing anything, but all this is important to some things. It's just like never. My Hero is always like, this is happening now because this is happening 2 seasons later, or this is happening the next season after that, or something along those lines. So it never really picks up. But what would you say have been your most favorite moments from watching My Hero? Just on your first watch, what is your favorite moments by far? Who's your favorite person?
Deku, of course. What the hell? I think I like Deku more than anything because he's like a good person that's trying to do good things, and I think that's pretty dope. But I like All Might too because he's hilarious. I cannot stand Kachan. I think he's just terrible. Does he get better?
Bakugo, he gets a lot less angsty, because now that you reached the part where they fought, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now that he knows the secret, he's kind of like chill. He's a little bit more chiller on Deku. He actually like he doesn't really want to work with him and still believes that he's stronger than him, but he's a lot less like, you don't deserve to be here, you dickhead.
Yeah.
So there's a lot less of that.
He dickhead. He says you nerd. Come on.
Well, I'm sure if this wasn't a kid's show, he would say dickhead.
What version of My Hero are you
watching? The one where, gosh, because I've watched it so many times, I'm actually going to go back and watch again.
You should. I need your context on it too. But I like that it does feel like X-Men a lot to me. And someone said that it was like X-Men, and I was like, sure. Then I was like, no, it definitely is. Other than like the obvious like political, socio-economical conversations that show brings up, this show kind of brings up the idea of like, what if there was, how much is too much, for helping people? Like, what's your, and also like breaking your own personal limits and your own goals, and like, when people tell you you can't do something, like you can definitely do it. Like, I think that, again, those are like really pertinent themes to have in a show, and they're very clear. And like most animes, it's not very clear like what the goal is of the show, but it's super uplifting. I like it a lot.
I think what you'll probably like the most, it hasn't happened yet. If you ever get into reading manga, which I don't know if you ever will, but then again, I said that last time, and then you got into a fucking whole series. So,
you never know.
If you get into reading manga, because I think you should, if you get into reading manga, first read the Demon Slayer one, so we can just, I can avoid tiptoeing around you.
And like, you don't need to listen to half of this podcast.
Yeah, don't listen to the other parts of this podcast because we talked about the manga.
Come on.
But it just is what it is. We talked about the movie trailer, and then we ended it off, and then we was like, okay, spoiler town.
Yeah, I have not finished Demon Slayer yet, so that's what I'm behind on. So I like to watch all of these shows in bulk. So
got you. I mean,
fair. Knowing that season 4 was on hold, and I've been watching Demon Slayer by Adult Swim. So I've been watching it weekly. I think I have like 2 episodes and sitting around right now. I think it's almost over on Cartoon Network. But
yeah, there's about 3 more episodes left.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go back and bulk watch that. So after this Saturday, I'm probably gonna get back into Demon Slayer.
Listen, I think My Hero Academia, I think you're going to like, if you ever get into manga, I'll just say this. Or if you don't get into manga, season 5 of My Hero is probably going to be your shit, because I know it's my shit. Because they get a lot more into the socio-economical, and like now it's like cults and villains, and I don't want to spoil too much, but there's an arc about just the villains, which is insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest shit that you'll ever seen, and the development of actual villains themselves.
I hear Endeavor gets off. This in season 4.
Oh yeah, at the end of season 4, he's the fucking man. Like I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but he reinstills kind of confidence. Yeah, he does everything. But yeah, you should watch it. I think you should watch it.
Yeah, I'm in a shonen anime like world right now. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, trying not to cry. How beautiful it is. But
I told him that's what you were doing. I was like, he may answer.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, but
I'm always gonna be there.
this
I'm always
is
gonna be
this was just the only time. I didn't want it to pass by and we never talk about this again.
We
there.
don't know when we're gonna talk about Hero again.
Yeah. So with that said, well, first of all, thank you, Justin, for popping up. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yep.
This is coming out today, so everyone can continue to wish Justin a happy birthday in this entire time. How did you celebrate your birthday on this trying time?
He
Man,
ate.
I ate very good. Shout out to my girlfriend who got
The meal was crazy.
a whole spread of Filipino food. Like I was like, I want that. That's like my favorite.
It was on seaweed or something, right?
What was it on? What was it on? The food last night?
Banana leaves.
Banana leaves.
Public Hawaiian.
Oh, banana leaves.
The
Okay.
Hawaiian dinner. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Turn that up. All right. Well,
It was
look
delish.
like you had a great time. You look like you had a great time. We've had a great time talking on this episode this far and catching up with all types of anime stuff. So we're going to cap off here. Once again, this is the full podcast. If you want to go listen to just about the trailer, if you haven't already yet by listening to this podcast, it's available on YouTube. First season of The Lookout is available on YouTube in full, so you can listen to all the first episode where actually me, you, and me, Jeff, and Justin were talking about an episode on there. So we're there.
Yeah.
We got the stuff with Perfect Legend that's on there. All the other stuff that we talked about first season of The Lookout is on YouTube, so make sure you turn that in. We talked about Digimon on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube, so make sure you follow the YouTube page. Make sure you also follow The Lookout on RNC Radio, on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, everywhere you can find podcasts. You can also follow RNC Radio Live to continue to get new news on all the other podcasts that we're doing. I'm excited for. So make sure you tuned into that. That's all I got to say. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a great kind of catch up and talk about various things that are going on in our lives. Make sure everyone stays safe, wash your hands, sanitize your phones. I don't want to put that against people. And yeah, that's it. We're out. Thank you guys.